So this is our information on culture. What we're going to do is give you this piece of paper right here, and what I need you to do is copy down the information all the way around. I'll underline the key things that we need to have down. So you'll put the title of the slide and then the information that I underlined for each one, so that way you can make sure you have all the information you need to be successful for your test. So we're going to talk about culture like we have before. We've talked about culture, the beliefs and customs of a group of people, and we've talked about the culture traits, the things that organize and that designate what a culture is. Today what we're going to do is we're going to focus directly on Mexico. So the first thing that we should write down is celebrations by one of those lines. It does not matter which one you write it by, but write down celebrations, and we need to list these 3 celebrations. It's Cinco de Mayo, Quinceañera, and Dia de los Muertos. Okay, so you're going to copy down those things, and then we'll have all this information just kind of talking about. So Cinco de Mayo, this is the day, May 5th, for those of you that don't speak Spanish, and it's the day observed to commemorate the Mexican Army's unlikely victory over the French forces at the Battle of Puebla on May 5th, 1862. A lot of people in America call it Mexican Independence Day. That's not going to be correct. This is going to be a day in which they were able to beat the French, who were one of the top armies in the world at the time, and to have success there. The next celebration that we have is a quinceañera. This is a 15-year birthday party for a girl, and it designates she has become a woman. So when a young lady turns 15, they'll get dressed up very nicely. They'll have a big party. It'll be a huge deal. And we'll show you a picture of that in a second. The other one is Dia de los Muertos. This is a day which focuses on gatherings of family and friends to pray and remember friends and family who have passed away or died. This is something that in America we associate it with Halloween. It's not directly Halloween, but we see a lot of the similarities in there. So let's show you some pictures of what this looks like. The first one that we have, this battle scene right here. This is the Battle of Puebla right here. It's just an artist's rendition of it. Quinceañera, you can see the young lady is wearing a very nice dress, beautiful dress, and the gentlemen in the picture are also very well dressed up. You can see people celebrating these from time to time. If you go to the mall, it's something that you'll see. It's just not something that a lot of us have experienced yet because you're all 11 and 12 years old. And the last one is Dia de los Muertos, and this is going to be where the day of remembrance for our families. You can see a lot of these. You're going to see a lot of skeletons and stuff like that. But celebrations is a key culture trait that we need to understand. The next one, rules. So the next line over, let's put rules. And we need to know that Mexico is a Republican democracy, which is limited and has a constitution. And laws are similar to those in the United States. Those are the types of things that we need to recognize here with rules. So Mexico is a limited government that's a Republican democracy, just like we are. It has a constitution, just like the United States. It hasn't always been free. For example, Santa Anna, the guy from the Alamo that beat America with the Mexican army, has controlled the government as a dictator multiple times in his life during his lifetime. There's going to be lots of laws that are similar to those in the United States, including punishments for crimes that include long jail sentences. And finally, the government has stepped in to raise minimum wage to make people help people make a living. Raising the minimum you can be paid per day to 62.33 pesos, or about $5, and or 7.79 pesos, or about 60 cents an hour. So very big difference. Remember the other day we saw that the GDP per capita was around $13,000. This is why the money exchange rate's very poor compared to that. So other examples, this is the current president of Mexico, Enrique Peña Nieto, and then this is a copy of the Mexican Constitution, just a piece of it. The next one that we have is art. And on art, you're going to write this part, and you need to know this information right here and this information right here. All right. Everything that's underlined you need to copy down. This one is going to be a lot more information because it's a lot more important information. So art is another culture trait that we need to know. Murals are an important art form used to inform and educate. Diego Rivera is a famous muralist who created these different murals. They utilize folklore and heritage. So basically, these are giant paintings that take over walls, not just like a small painting, but they're going to be like city walls big. And they're going to try to educate you on your past, inform you about decisions that are coming up, and they're going to use a lot of heritage and folklore or like stories that are important to your society. Some examples of these. This is one that was called The Man at the Crossroads in 1933. This is Vladimir Lenin, who was a communist leader of Russia, brought communism into Russia. This is his real picture over here on the side. And he caused a lot of problems because America is very anti-communist, but he was showing how Lenin could possibly, was trying to unify people of all races and all backgrounds. So it caused a lot of controversy and was even taken down. The next one that we have is another mural that's at the presidential palace. So it tells the history of Mexico. You just have to be able to identify different facets of it. Next one that we have, the next culture trait is religion. We need to know they are Christian, specifically Roman Catholic. So most people in Mexico are going to be Christian, and most of them will follow under Roman Catholicism. And it's the world's largest church with more than 1 million members worldwide. It's just anything that you've heard of Christianity. This is the people that rule it, and it's from St. Peter's Basilica. The next culture trait that we have is language. So the primary language in Mexico is Spanish, okay, because the Spanish came here. And what we're going to see is that there are the different ones in North America. In North America, we have Canada speaks English, United States speaks English, but Mexico speaks Spanish. And then finally, another culture trait we know is food. So a lot of stuff that we know, let's just list some of the food just to make us a little hungry. This will be some food that we should know. Tamales, tortillas, gorditas, and many other corn-based food, because corn is going to be a major facet in Spanish food or Mexican food. So make sure you have everything copied down, and that should be done for our notes on Mexico's culture.